Hi everyone, it's your favourite Atomic Blonde here. We're just a bit of ordinary pop chat. I know, right? It's been a while. I've mainly been doing the specials as I seem to do better on the channel, if I'm honest with you, but and they're quicker to make, mostly. So yeah, I've been mainly doing specials on, films I've been to see, TV programs, etc. But I just wanted to drop on, have a little bit of a chit chat about few trailers that have dropped recently and shows that are going on, and my thoughts, follow-up thoughts on some shows as well, because I haven't done that in a while. So hopefully you'll stick with me through this ramblings, because I haven't really prepared much, but yeah, I just wanted to say chat through a few things. So let's kick it off, shall we, people, with non-surprisingly, I guess, hot topics right now, obviously Superman and Fantastic Four, and just the ongoing demise of Marvel. So yeah, I mean, Superman, we got another trailer, potentially the final trailer, and I think generally it was quite well received. It definitely had a better spin on it than what we'd seen up until this point. I won't lie, I'm nervous about this film. Obviously, when the first sort of teaser trailer dropped, I'd done a reaction which you can go look at. I'm actually quite excited. I was really looking forward to this film. I'm still looking forward to it in the sense that we're getting a Superman film, or hopefully we're getting a Superman film that we all know and recognize. Again, anybody who has followed this channel for a while knows I was sort of a Henry Cavill fan in the role. Not a big Snyder lover. I absolutely loved the Snyder cut Justice League. In my office, as I've got to put this back up, I had to take it down for various reasons, but I've got this, I don't know if you can see this, there we go, Justice League, yeah, and I've got some of the Hot Toys, I've got all the Hot Toys bar Ezra Miller. I'm actually getting Grant Gustin to finish out the the Justice League, but that's by the by. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, I'm more excited by the trailer that we got today. Nerdrotic reposted from Perry Chan his cut of the trailer, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm not just saying that because it's like those guys, but Perry's so talented. The one thing I really miss is the intros he used to have time to do before Friday Night Tights. Part of watching Friday Night Tights was watching Perry's intros. I used to love those. They were hilarious. But the guy's very busy these days, quite rightly so, because he's a very talented guy. And we get them occasionally now, but not every week. But he has done an absolute banger of recutting the trailer that was issued with the original Donna score. Oh, it really makes sort of gets you like, oh, Superman's back, Superman, positive, upbeat, hero, all of that. So that actually made me more excited for this film. I mean, it's crazy. It's the same footage, but just in a different order with the original score. So overall, out of the two films here, I think I'm more looking forward to Superman than I am Fantastic Four. After the trailer for that dropped, woof, that was a doozy with some shockingly bad CGI. If rumors are true, they're literally scrabbling around doing reshoots now, just a few months. The crazy thing is that every time they've done this recently, scrabbling around, doing reshoots, trying to fix something before it comes out, it inevitably doesn't work, because you can just, it's so disjointed. We really saw that with Brave New World. As I said, I finally got around to watching it as a copy was leaked onto YouTube, so I was able to watch it without having to pay for it or give any kind of ratings to Disney. I mean, I say it was all right, I guess. It was mid, but that just really demonstrated when you've got like 3 different cuts and you're trying to edit them together and shoehorn stuff in and do U-turns, you just have a really disjointed film that doesn't flow properly. You know, scenes just kind of end because it obviously cut off like a final sentence or scene or something. It just doesn't really hang together well. So be interesting. And again, it's probably, if any of those reshoots have CGI, they are going to look dire. I mean, they just haven't got time to be sorting this stuff out in the next few weeks. So my initial enthusiasm for Fantastic Four has really gone down. Again, as like I say, you can go check out my review of Thunderbolts, which I thought was okay. I quite enjoyed Thunderbolts. It was fine. I don't think it deserves some of the hate that it got, but Marvel is not back. I mean, that was the takeaway from the Thunderbolts. It was fine. It was watchable, funny in places, but yeah, it didn't have me chomping at the bit to go see the Fantastic Four going, oh my God, they knocked that out of the park. I can't wait for Fantastic Four now. No. So I think everybody still feels that the jury's out on both of these films. I think more so on Fantastic Four. I'm really looking forward to seeing Nicholas Hoult as Lex in Superman. He's a very talented actor, very solid. You know, he was great, obviously, in the X-Men as Beast. I know there's a few people sort of saying, oh, he looks a bit too young or too baby-faced, but I think the quality of his acting will shine through. And what we're hearing on the grapevine is he's like absolutely smashed it, that this is probably going to be like the best Lex that we've ever seen. So that'd be interesting to see. I mean, he kind of reminds me more of the Michael Rosenbaum kind of Lex, that sort of Smallville Lex, you know. So, but you know, the darker version, because obviously Lex was still trying to be good in Smallville, but didn't quite go to plan. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, this does kind of give you a bit of Smallville vibes, I guess. You know, back when Warner TV was good, when it was a WB. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I don't know. WB used to turn out some good solid shows until it turned into the CW. But anyway, yeah, so I'm still a little bit, you know, I'm looking forward to Superman more than Fantastic Four. I think the last trailer has definitely helped. I think it's definitely given people a bit more, you know, a bit more upbeat about this Superman. Obviously, a lot of people didn't like the opener of Lois kind of going in on Clark, but again, all these things out of context, you know. And I agree with most people's commentary that, and certainly when you watch the Perry Chan version, if that came later in the trailer, I don't think it would have been so jarring on people. But we'll have to wait and see. Not long to go now. 11th and is it 25th of July, respectively? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, let's wait and see. Hey. I mean, just rounding out kind of Marvel chit chat, I guess. Again, I was excited for Daredevil. Really liked the first couple of episodes. It looked pretty solid. Looked like we were in for something good. Boy, did that go off a cliff. The last episode I quite liked. Actually, I know a lot of people didn't. The last couple of episodes I thought weren't too bad. But all that build up, bringing in Muse, and then just getting rid of him so easily, you know, and again, that it, you know, the editing was jarring because obviously they sliced together old stuff and new stuff. They would have been better if they just reshot the whole thing. That woeful, awful episode with Miss Marvel's dad in it. Oh my God. I mean, talk about ruining the tone of the whole piece. It was just, I don't know what they were thinking leaving that in. Maybe contractually they had to leave it in because of the actor who was playing the dad. I don't know, but that was definitely a misstep. And I think that's when we all started really switching off, going, oh man, this is not going in a good direction. Hopefully with complete creative control over the second season, we're seeing they're bringing Jessica Jones back. I like Jessica Jones. Obviously season 1 was by far the best season, but the other 2 seasons I quite enjoyed as well. They're okay. Definitely sort of went off the boil towards the end, but overall, I enjoyed that Netflix show. So bringing her into season 2, be interesting to see what happens there. I think they had great chemistry. Charlie Cox and is it Kristen Ritter, I think. in when they done the crossover Defenders, which itself wasn't great, but their chemistry was really good in that. So we know they work together well on the screen. So again, hopefully maybe it'll bring something to season 2. But obviously the problem now is getting people to get eyeballs on it. I think people are so tuned out, especially if like Fantastic Four bombs. We've got Ironheart coming, which is going to be an absolute disaster. I mean, it's being ratioed to hell right now. And of course, the old tropes are coming out again, you know, people just being racist, even though like Sinners is the best performing film this year so far. But I don't know how that works. You know, we're all racist and bigots, but Sinners seems to be doing super well. So whatever. But things like just coming out and saying that kind of nonsense just switches people off even more. I think also people just don't even care. People don't even care if they get called bigot or racist or something. Now they're just not interested in watching it. They're just like, no, I'm all right, thanks. So obviously with the DC, we're being teased Batman, Wonder Woman announcement. Well, whether that's the Batman 2, obviously Matt Reeves is no longer a director. Whether he's able to finish the screenplay, we don't know. Obviously he's got some stuff going on in his personal life right now. I haven't really looked into the details, and that's fine. You know, he's entitled to whatever he needs. So I guess, there's a question mark over the Batman 2, that who will pick that up if they continue to run with that. Or is James Gunn going to start making one of his Batman films that he announced? DC is all over the map right now. And who's going to be the new Wonder Woman? Or is there going to be a new Wonder Woman? I mean, even though Gal Gadot is not the best actress ever, she did make a really good Wonder Woman. I mean, she just, fitted that role perfectly. So big shoes to fill there. Interesting times, I think, for DC and Marvel. And at the end of the day, I say, I've always said I don't really think it's even superhero fatigue. I think it's just bad movie fatigue, that, people just like, oh, it's just the same schlop all over again. Every time you see Marvel now, people are like, oh, that's going to be crap. So they have got one hell of a mountain to climb, Marvel. DC's probably not too far behind them. They really, really need a win with Superman. They've already finished filming Supergirl. Emilia Clarke, who was fantastic in House of the Dragon season 1. She was superb. So again, from an acting standpoint, I've got no issues there. Again, it all comes down to story. And from what I've heard, the story that they've picked is a pretty crap woke one. But we'll have to wait and see. Wait and see. So that's all we can do now. Is it going to be a summer blockbuster or just another summer flopbuster? Let's wait and see. Hey guys. Moving on. Oh gosh. So I went to go see Final Destination Bloodlines yesterday. Go check out my review. That dropped yesterday. Pretty solid. I'd already seen this trailer online, but there was a trailer for this before Final Destination. Every time I see this trailer, and there's a bit more in the trailer than the one I saw online, I think, in terms of like gore. This looks so intriguing. I am so really, really getting excited for this film. It's from the same director as Barbarian, which is a pretty well-regarded horror film, I think. Again, not for everybody. I mean, you want to talk about subvert expectations, there's a film for you. It's Skarsgård in it, and I was quite late to the party watching Barbarian, but interesting film. So the premise of this one, it basically starts with the trailer with a little girl narrating what's on the poster here, saying last night, sorry, there's a bit more wording in the thing, but basically like last night, all the kids from this teacher's class, all the kids woke up at exactly 2:17 a.m., got out their beds and disappeared and were never seen again. and it's all the kids that disappear are all from one teacher's class. It's Mrs. Gandhi's class. And then the parents, from what we see in the trailer, the parents start turning on the teacher and like, why is it just her class? What has she got to do with this? And by all accounts, from what we see in the trailer, the teacher has no idea. It's got nothing to do with her that we know of. So this poor woman's being persecuted because all these kids have disappeared, and all these kids are sort of primary school age. So they look, I know, somewhere between the seven and 8 maybe. So but from the trailer, it looks like, and by the title, I mean weapons, right? That these kids come back. They say they're never seen again, and they never come back. But from the trailer, it looks like they do, or some kind of evil version of these kids come back, demonic or something. We don't know. I love trailers like this where you've got the setup, but it's not giving away the whole film. We don't really know what's going on. It looks so intriguing. It's like, I cannot wait to go see this, I have to say. And again, if it sort of subverts expectations, how Barbarian did, like you think you're getting one thing and then you get another, I'm all up for that. I mean, this, you know, if this film's not predictable, as long as it's good, subverting our expectations these days means a very different thing, and they basically do it badly and they don't subvert our expectations at all. So I'm really excited for this one. Love to know your thoughts on this one. Have you seen the trailer? What are you thinking? Are you going to go see this? I mean, it kind of got a little bit sort of, I guess, Stephen King vibes. Yeah, exciting. Really looking forward to this. And I think I said on this channel before, when I was maybe last pop chat even, that, you know, most of what I go to the cinema to see now are horror films. And I've always been a horror film fan, but I've never gone to see so many horror films, mainly because the quality's been better. You know, yes, there are sequels and reboots out there. I mean, the other trailer we got was I Know What You Did Last Summer. It seems like they're just calling it I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though it's a sequel to the previous I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did, with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze reprising their roles. I mean, obviously nobody else can reprise their roles because they're dead, spoilers. And that didn't excite me at all. That just looked like an absolute rehash. So group of kids accidentally kills someone in the summer. The hook man comes back, starts taking them out, but you got Freddie Prinze and Hewitt trying to help keep them alive. That looked basically the premise of the film, so it looked pretty shoddy. But saying that, the majority of horror films coming out that we're seeing, like the Heretic, the Monkey, this, have all been, really good, solid films. I'll say Nosferatu, yes, technically it is a reboot of like a 1930 film, but very much its own thing, which was fantastic. Horror is really kind of coming back in vogue, I guess. And I think what's quite telling is the Final Destination Bloodlines got like a 95% audience critic score. Now, when you look at the original films, and the first one was really good, I really love the first Final Destination. It's only got about 40%, I think. They hover around the 40-60%, apart from the fourth one, which is absolutely terrible, which is like 23%. But the point I'm trying to make very badly is I think the industry as a whole, or critics as a whole, don't look down their nose on horror films like they used to. So they can sort of review things a little bit more objectively when it comes to horror films, that they just don't get low scores because they are horror films. I think the genre itself has been so elevated over the years by great filmmakers, getting things like Sinners coming out, the other movies that I've mentioned, you're getting top draw actors signing on to horror films, A-list actors signing on to horror films, quality to the writing, the directors. So I think horror is really coming into its own in the 2020s, and while we've got makers like this coming through, I am very excited to see where the genre goes. So, as I said, let me know. Are you excited for this film? Have you seen the trailer? What are you thinking? I will definitely be going to see this one at the cinema. So, watch out for that review. It says August 8th. It says it's coming out here. I assume it'll be the same here in the UK. Cannot wait. So, fantastic. Moving on. Actually, just while I'm rambling, I saw an article from somebody I can't stand anyway. Was it Kirsten Stewart, who's basically blaming the patriarchy that women can't direct and anybody can direct and anybody should be able to. This drives me absolutely nuts. There are female directors out there. Any woman can go learn to be, but she makes out like anybody can direct, right? Yeah, anybody can do anything, right? But there's degrees of how good you are. We can all of us can do anything badly. And she's just trying to make out that that there's no skill involved in directing. And, there'll be so many more great female directors. She more or less said in her article that there's no talent involved. And it's just a patriarchy keeping women out of directing. I've never heard so much bullshit in all my life. This stuff drives me insane. As I've said many times on this channel, I work in a very male-orientated industry. I have like my whole adult life pretty much from my mid-20s. And I've earned the respect of my colleagues. I've got a career. I'm very successful at what I do. And I enjoy what I do. And I, hand on heart, will sit here and say, I don't think I've ever been held back in the industry that I work in because I'm a woman. Even now, it's still very male orientated. Basically, guys, it's IT. It's not like a rocket science type job. But I do like program and project management and things, predominantly in IT, working alongside, say, mainly men. It's still very, of course, there are female developers out there and tech people, but it's still skewed. And I honestly don't feel I've ever been held back in my job. Have I had snide comments, or back in the day, especially, I was quite young for being quite senior. And I think it was more of an ageist comments I used to get rather than, sexist comments. Occasionally I'd get the kind of, feel the patronizing, oh, little woman tap on the head stuff. And I put them in their place. And, and that's, I guess, that's an art that's been lost these days. People would rather just sit there and go, oh, I'm a victim, rather than turn around and go, call people out on their bullshit, earn their respect and do a good job, So, sorry, a bit of a side ramble there, but Kirsten Stewart, I find immensely annoying. Most miserable woman on the planet, even though she's now living her best life. Now she's out and doing whatever she has. Oh, she's just comes across as, I don't like, you just feel like if you're in a room with her, she'd suck all the life out of it. Do you know what I mean? Really can't say that. And it's a real shame because I was looking forward to seeing the new David Cronenberg film, but she was in it. And on principle, I just won't watch it. I just cannot watch anything that she's in. So, anyway, but talking absolute BS. If I hear one more thing around women saying, I can't do that because of the patriarchy, honestly, if you're good at it, then you can find a way to do it. If you're not being allowed to do it, it's probably because you're shit. FYI. Anyways, I move on. Oh, right. So, after the first 2 episodes, I done a review on Mobland. Sort of Guy Ritchie is an executive producer on this, and he directed the first 2 episodes. But this is written by completely different people. All the other episodes have been directed by other people. Absolute stellar cast. I really like the first 2 episodes. I think I'm up to episode 6 or 7 now. I don't know. Let me just check that, because I just want to say and check in, and this show is absolutely brilliant. I love this show so much. Let me just check. And this is what I'd say. It's not like a bad thing that I can't remember how many episodes there are. I'm just so in it now. episode 8. We're up to episode 8. There's 10 episodes in total. Yeah. And this week's episode introduced another great actor. Of course, I can't remember their name because you know me on here by now, guys. Toby, what's his name? Toby. Oh, just won a BAFTA for the post office thing. Toby Jones. So he's just joined the cast this week. Absolutely amazing. This show has just gone from strength to strength each week. This week's episode, absolute banger. Oh my god. You thought it was going in one direction around who's like they were pretty much teeing it up that the grandson of Pierce Brosnan's character Ed, who's basically he murdered someone in episode 1, and it's kicked off a whole basically under his grandmother's guidance. Helen Mirren, who's an absolute cow in this show, she's absolutely freaking psycho out there. To basically sort of reignite a mob war. There's been like a steering of that. They've done it. Nobody's, and this is why the writing's brilliant, because nobody's come out and said it. But again, you read between the lines and the way they've set it up. It started hinting that basically Ed's father, Kevin, isn't his father, and it was going in a certain direction. And oh my god, I'm not going to spoil it, but wow, it just not what I was expecting at all. And the end of the episode, holy cow, I was just like, I just sat there like, I was not expecting that. And I've loved that through this show. There's been a few episodes where something happens, you're like, whoa, was not expecting that. But the acting, the direction, the quality of the scripts and the characters in this is fantastic. I don't know if Paramount have come out and said yet there is a season 2, but this is doing, I think, great guns in America as well as it is here. And to be fair, this absolutely, if this had been dropped like on Netflix in one go, it would not be the hit that it is, or maybe it would have got more eyeballs on it, being Netflix. But it's been a bit of a slow burn because it's on Paramount. But word of mouth has got out there how good this show is. Now, what really made me laugh the other day, that the people were criticizing Pierce Brosnan's Irish accent, and you kind of go, but he's Irish. People do realize Pierce Brosnan's Irish, right? Yes, he's very well spoken, but he is actually Irish. So I'm not sure why people are ripping into him over his Irish accent over like Helen Mirren's. You know, it's like, really, guys? You know, James Bond's English, Pierce Brosnan's Irish. Yeah, you got that? But I cannot speak highly enough about this show. As you know, a big Guy Ritchie fan. Some of his stuff is better. He went through the wilderness years when he was married to Madonna and sort of lost his touch completely. And he has come back with a bang with the film The Gentleman, the series The Gentleman, which was so good. Absolutely love that. I cannot wait for season 2 of that. And this, he is, he's not the writer on this, but his fingerprints are all over it. You can see it, and it's so good. If you've not watched Mobland, wait. If you don't have Paramount, wait until it finishes in 2 weeks' time, and get a free trial if you can, and just binge this puppy. It is so good. It's worth the money alone for Paramount for this show. Then you've got some of the Taylor Sheridan stuff. You've got Tulsa King on there, which I highly recommend as well. That's absolutely brilliant. It's been renewed for season 3 with Sylvester Stallone. There's some good little gems on Paramount. I mean, what's strange in the UK though is a lot of Paramount stuff isn't on Paramount, because I don't know how it works over here, but we don't have the range of Paramount films and Paramount shows like Evil, which I absolutely loved. We've had 3 seasons. It was shown on a channel called Alibi here. We have not had season 4. It doesn't look like it's dropping on Alibi anytime soon. The DVD's not being released, so and it ended on season 4. So I don't know how the show ends, but it's not on Paramount here, but it's a Paramount show. And I was wondering if it wasn't being shown on Alibi because Paramount had taken the rights back and it is going to be put on Paramount. I don't care whether it's on Alibi or Paramount, but I would like to see how the show ends, please. No spoilers, anybody. Thank you. But again, I digress. But this show is great. Absolutely great. And 2 episodes to go, and you can just feel this puppy building. You can just, I think the final episode is going to be all out carnage. And I'm here for it. I cannot wait. So what's your thoughts on Mobland, guys? Are you enjoying it? Is it just not your thing? But Tom Hardy is fantastic in this. One of his other shows that was really highly praised was Taboo. That was on the BBC back in 2017. I think it was the same writers as Peaky Blinders. The BBC have just announced, I think they're actually making a season 2, because at the time, it was really successful and was all teed up for season 2. But then obviously like Tom Hardy, he'd done Peaky Blinders and then pretty much went to Hollywood. So, but he seems to be choosing projects that allow him to be in the UK more, be back home, like with Mobland, and say if he does Taboo season 2 as well, which is, I've heard, has been greenlit. So, and if you have not seen Taboo, it's actually on Netflix right now. They've just recently added it. And for the ladies out there, not that obviously it's important at all, but he is rather naked in it, just letting you know. And I mean naked. Get my drift. So, sorry, the female gaze and all of that. Yeah, so Mobland, highly recommend. Do check it out. Love to know your thoughts on everything I've talked about today. I think that's kind of it for now, guys. What else are you looking forward to that's coming up? Are there any trailers that you've seen that got you excited for what's coming up later on this year? Do let me know, and I'm happy to review, talk about it, let you know what I think, as always. So that's it for today. Lovely to jump on and just ramble. Well, like that's different from any other time. Any review I do, it's kind of a bit rambly. So sorry, guys. That's just me. It's how my brain works. This poor old lady's brain just fires around all over the place. So you will take care now, and I'll be back soon with some more chat spells. Obviously, we've got a number of films coming up. I do want to go to see Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to see that. Hopefully, maybe next weekend. I was hoping to go today, but it doesn't look like it's going to pan out. But yeah, I'll be back with hopefully a Final Reckoning review. And just see what other grenades go off in pop culture land. I'll be here chatting about it. So you take care now. Bye-bye.